What does your silence actually do to someone who betrayed you? Not the version people post online, not "it makes them miss you." The real answer is smaller than that and far more dangerous. Your silence takes away the one thing they need most from you: a reaction. And without it, they're left alone with what they did. Most people think silence does nothing, that while you're saying nothing, they're moving on, untouched. So instead, you explain. You send the message laying out exactly how they hurt you. You wait for them to finally understand. But understanding was never the goal. A reaction was. Every explanation you give hands them the one thing they came for. What happens when you stop handing it over? Betrayal has a script, and the person who wronged you already wrote it in their head. You get angry, you cry, you demand answers, and in that chaos, they get to play the victim. Look how dramatic they're being. Your pain becomes their alibi. Silence breaks that script. It removes the fight they were prepared for and replaces it with something they can't perform against. Nothing. No argument to win. No apology to dodge. Just the quiet. And whatever they actually did. Sitting there with no distraction to hide behind. The dichotomy of control. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, and even he understood this. He wrote to himself, not for an audience, reminders scrawled in the dark, in a tent, between wars. One of them was simple. You do not have to have an opinion about this, and you don't have to disturb your peace over it. The betrayal happened. That part is done. What happens next belongs entirely to you. That's the dichotomy of control. What they did with your trust was never yours to control. But what you do with your silence, that's the one lever you're still holding, and it's the only one that ever mattered. The cost of staying, Seneca warned about something else. The way we waste our most valuable resource chasing people who never valued us back. He said we act as though we have unlimited time, unlimited chances to make someone understand us. We don't. Every hour spent replaying the betrayal, every argument rehearsed in your head at 2 a.m., that's an hour you spent proving you still needed them to notice you. And that's exactly what they were hoping for. What this silence means for you. Epictetus, born into slavery, became one of the most quoted philosophers in history. He said it plainest of all: it is not what happens to you, but how you judge it, that causes you suffering. The betrayal is fixed, but what your silence means is still being written. And most people write it as defeat, as giving up. It isn't. Every day you don't reach out, you're answering the question this video opened with. It removes their audience, removes their alibi, and hands the story back to you. So ask yourself the question again. What does your silence do to them? It waits. It doesn't chase, doesn't explain, doesn't perform. And that absence is louder than anything you could have said. They are waiting for the version of you that breaks down, that sends the paragraph text, that shows up somewhere they don't want you to be, just to say one more thing. Don't give them that. Give them nothing. Not because you don't feel it, you do, more than they'll ever know, but because your peace was never theirs to take, and it's not theirs to keep either. So, what does your silence do to someone who betrayed you? It doesn't destroy them. It doesn't have to. It just stops feeding them and lets them sit with what they did, alone, with no audience left. Marcus didn't argue with every senator who plotted against him. Seneca didn't waste his final years defending himself to Nero. They walked forward, quietly, completely, and that silence became the loudest thing they ever did. If this is where you are right now, standing at the door, hand on the handle, waiting for permission you don't need, this channel exists for exactly this moment. Subscribe, because the next video is about what comes after the silence.